Did anyone ever tell you that being alone after 70 doesn't just feel different? It actually changes your brain, your heart, and your chances of survival? What if I told you there's one daily habit that could quite literally save your life, especially if you're living alone? In this video, we're not talking about vague advice or empty encouragement. We're diving into the overlooked science of isolation and the one thing you must do each day to protect your mind, body, and spirit. This may be the most important message you'll hear this year. Did you know that being socially isolated in your 70s or 80s is as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? That's not an exaggeration. It's a finding from researchers at Brigham Young University, who discovered that loneliness can increase your risk of premature death by nearly 30%. And it doesn't matter how strong you've been, how independent you are, or how much you've accomplished in life. Once the house grows quiet and the days stretch longer, your body starts reacting in ways that can slowly break you down without you even realizing it. You might start sleeping more or less. You might notice your appetite changing or that you're forgetting little things more often. Tasks that used to energize you, morning walks, watering the plants, reading the paper, start feeling dull or pointless. These aren't just random changes. They're physical and cognitive warning signs that your system is under stress from a lack of connection. And here's the part that most people never talk about. Your brain is wired for connection until your final breath. When that connection weakens, the body sends out stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, not for minutes, but for hours and days. That constant drip of stress floods your immune system, stiffens your blood vessels, and weakens your memory. Over time, it accelerates heart disease, dementia, and even cancer. Researchers from the National Institute on Aging now consider loneliness a chronic illness, not just a mood. But here's the hopeful part. There's one small daily action that has been scientifically proven to reduce these harmful effects, even if you don't have a large social circle or anyone nearby to talk to. And this habit has nothing to do with forcing yourself to attend events or make endless phone calls. Before we reveal what it is, consider this. Even short daily interactions, less than 10 minutes, have been shown to boost levels of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, while reducing inflammation and stress markers. In one study from the University of Chicago, seniors who spoke to just one other person per day showed slower cognitive decline and better emotional resilience than those who stayed silent, even if that conversation was with a neighbor, a delivery person, or someone at the pharmacy. So, if you're thinking, I don't have anyone close, that's okay. You don't need many. You just need one small shift in your daily routine that anchors you back into life. And in the next few minutes, we'll show you exactly what that is. The powerful, brain-preserving, life-extending habit that could save your health, even if you're completely alone. So, what is this daily habit that scientists, psychologists, and long-living seniors quietly swear by? Talking out loud to yourself every day on purpose, not rambling or muttering in confusion. We're talking about a conscious, deliberate daily ritual called verbal journaling, a science-backed tool proven to reduce loneliness, improve memory, boost mood, and even stabilize blood pressure. Yes, talking to yourself can save your life. Here's why. When you speak your thoughts out loud, your brain lights up in ways that written journaling or silent thinking simply can't match. In an MRI study conducted at UCLA, researchers found that naming emotions aloud, even just to yourself, activated the prefrontal cortex and reduced activity in the brain's fear and stress centers. It was like flipping a switch from anxiety to calm. And when you make this a daily habit, even just 5 to 10 minutes each morning, your body begins to treat your words like a real human interaction. That means lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, improved immune response, better emotional regulation, and even slower age-related cognitive decline. In fact, a team at the University of Michigan ran a study on adults over 65 and found that those who practiced out-loud reflective routines had stronger short-term memory and significantly better resilience to depressive symptoms, even if they lived alone. But here's where it gets even more powerful. When you use your voice daily, you're not just relieving stress. You're keeping your identity intact. Because when we age, and especially when we age alone, the biggest danger isn't just physical decline. It's losing a sense of who we are. You become the caretaker, the widow, the grandparent, the quiet neighbor in the last house on the street. And slowly, your story, your rhythm, your fire starts to dim. Verbal journaling reignites that fire. Imagine this. You wake up, you sit at the kitchen table with a cup of tea, and you simply speak about anything. What am I grateful for today? What hurt yesterday? What made me laugh this week? What do I want to remember about my childhood or forgive myself for? These small spoken moments create ripples. They help you process grief, reinforce memory, and remind your brain. You matter. Your story is still unfolding. And don't worry if it feels strange at first. That awkwardness fades quickly. Many seniors who start this practice say it becomes the most cherished part of their day within a week. You can record your voice on your phone. You can look in the mirror. Or you can simply speak into the stillness of your home. What matters is that you speak. Because your voice has power, and using it daily can quite literally rewire your brain for resilience, clarity, and hope. In the next section, we'll explore 5 proven ways to make this habit easier, even if you feel skeptical, self-conscious, or stuck in silence right now. Let's be honest, the idea of talking to yourself out loud might feel odd at first. You might think, won't I sound silly? Or, isn't that what people do when they're losing their mind? But here's the truth no one tells you. The healthiest minds talk to themselves all the time. In fact, top athletes, CEOs, and even surgeons use self-talk to sharpen focus, regulate emotions, and stay mentally strong. What you're doing isn't weird, it's wise. And once you push past the first few days, it becomes second nature, even comforting. So how do you make it stick? Let's break it down. Choosea trigger-moment. Every lasting habit starts with a cue. So instead of waiting for the perfect time, attach verbal journaling to something you already do daily. After brushing your teeth, during your morning coffee, right after making your bed, or even while folding laundry. Don't overthink it. The goal is to make speaking a natural extension of your routine, not a chore. Keep a few prompts nearby.
Felings tukkor unsurev hattosei. Tats normal in the beginning. Keepas mal notebook or sticky notebi juur chair or tablevit promptslike. Todei I felbekauset. Somaking I misrikt novist. I am proud of myself fort. I want to remember the story from my past. Tese arentasks teire invitations to reconnect with yourself.
Use your phone as a memory tool. Open your phone's voice memo app and press record. Not to share, just to store. Why? Because listening to your own voice days or weeks later has been shown to reinforce positive self-image and clarity, especially in older adults. It's like hearing your future self speak back to you, confident, grounded, and whole. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Some days your voice might feel strong. Other days it might crack with emotion. That's okay. There is no right way to do this. This is your space, your tone, your truth. And the magic lies in showing up, even for 5 minutes. One woman, age 82, started this habit after losing her partner. She said, "At first I didn't know what to say, but I kept going. Now I talk to myself like I talk to an old friend. And for the first time in years, I don't feel alone in this house." Give it 7 days, just 7. According to habit researcher Dr. B.J. Fogg, the best way to create lasting change isn't through willpower, it's by starting tiny and building consistency. So give yourself a 7-day challenge. Commit to 5 minutes of speaking out loud each day. Track it on a calendar. No pressure, no judgment, just presence. At the end of those 7 days, ask yourself, Do I feel a little more awake? Am I remembering more? Am I sleeping better? Am I feeling just a little less alone? If the answer to any of those is yes, even slightly, then this habit is working, and that's your sign to keep going. You might be wondering, can something as simple as talking to yourself really protect my brain? The answer, backed by neuroscience, is a confident yes. Let's start with what happens inside your brain when you speak out loud. When you talk, even if you're alone, your brain activates both Broca's and Wernicke's areas, the regions responsible for speech production and comprehension. This dual activation creates something neurologists call bidirectional reinforcement. In simple terms, you're not just expressing thoughts, you're reinforcing them. And that's powerful, because repetition through auditory feedback helps encode information into your long-term memory more effectively than silent thinking. A 2020 study from the Rotman Research Institute in Toronto found that seniors who read or spoke out loud daily retained 15 to 20% more new information compared to those who read silently. That's not just a memory boost, it's brain protection. Your brain under stress behaves very differently than your brain at peace. In older adults, chronic stress accelerates the shrinking of the hippocampus, the region crucial for memory and learning. It also increases your risk of dementia. But here's the miracle. Just naming your emotions out loud can dramatically lower stress. A UCLA neuroimaging study found that people who named how they were feeling, even in a few words, showed reduced activity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm center. Their prefrontal cortex lit up instead, signaling emotional regulation and calm decision-making. This is why psychologists often say, name it to tame it. And when you practice this naming regularly, by simply speaking to yourself each day, you're giving your brain the tools to calm itself without medication or external support. There's another layer, identity protection. Dr. Gene Cohen, one of the foremost researchers in creative aging, found that older adults who engaged in storytelling, self-reflection, and expressive communication had stronger neural connections, slower rates of mental decline, and significantly lower depression scores. Why? Because storytelling, even when done privately, reinforces coherence, the brain's ability to understand who you are, what you've lived through, and what still matters. In his landmark book, The Mature Mind, Dr. Cohen states, narrative isn't just memory and it's medicine. Your story, your voice, and your willingness to use them can literally reshape the way your brain ages. Lastly, there's an emotional benefit that many seniors don't realize until they begin speaking out loud daily. You become less reactive to life's frustrations. One study published in Aging and Mental Health followed seniors who practiced verbal reflection over a 12-week period. By the end, participants reported greater emotional clarity, more patience with daily challenges, and a renewed sense of control over their lives. It wasn't therapy, it wasn't medication. It was simply letting their voice be heard every single day. And that's the true power of this habit. It's not just about brain cells and memory. It's about reclaiming your space in the world. Even if no one else is around, you are still here, still vibrant, still aware, and your voice proves it. You don't need a therapist, a journal, or a crowd of friends to stay mentally sharp, emotionally grounded, and physically stronger after 70. You just need 5 minutes, your voice, and a willingness to start. Here's the exact routine. Keep it simple. Let it be yours. Step 1 is to choose your quiet moment. Mornings are best. Why? Because your mind is fresh, your home is still, and your thoughts haven't yet been hijacked by the outside world. Right after waking up, or after brushing your teeth or making tea. Sit in a comfortable spot where you won't be interrupted. No TV, no phone, just you and your voice. Step 2 is to begin with this one line. Out loud say, today I feel caught because it might be calm, it might be tired, it might be sad, hopeful, grateful, or confused. There are no wrong answers. Your goal is not to judge your feeling, just to name it. This one act, repeated daily, lowers stress, regulates mood, and sharpens emotional awareness more than most people realize. Step 3 is to continue with a memory or a moment. After naming how you feel, try adding this. Yesterday, something that stood out to me was, or one thing I want to remember today is. This grounds your mind in reflection. It strengthens short-term and long-term memory pathways and helps your brain locate meaning in everyday life. It can be something small, the way the sun hit your kitchen window, a phone call from someone you miss, a thought that made you smile, a dream that confused you. What matters isn't the event. It's that you chose to see eye. Step 4 is to speak to yourself with compassion. This is the most powerful step. Say something to yourself, out loud, that offers support. You're doing your best, and that's enough. Today I give myself permission to slow down. I'm still learning, still growing. It's okay to feel what I feel. Even if it feels silly, it works. A study from Carnegie Mellon University showed that self-directed compassion improves immune function and reduces anxiety in older adults, especially those living alone. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. You're giving yourself the words no one else may remember to say. Step 5 is to end with one intention. Finally, wrap up with this prompt. Today I will. Maybe you'll take a short walk. Maybe you'll call someone you've been thinking about. Maybe you'll rest, or read, or water your plants and smile at the memory they hold. It doesn't have to be big. The purpose is to close your practice with direction, so your mind and body move with intention, not just reaction. That alone can shift your day and your health. And then what? That's it. You've anchored your day with clarity. You've reconnected to your story. And you've protected your brain, your mood, and your sense of self. 5 minutes. No audience, no performance. Just you, showing up, with your voice. And here's the best part. This practice grows stronger with age. The more memories you carry, the more reflections you gain, the more this routine becomes sacred, like a personal ceremony of wisdom. So tomorrow morning, before you check the news, before you scroll, before the noise begins, speak. Your story isn't over, and this is how you remind yourself that it still matters. Most people won't do this. Most people will hear a video like this, feel a flicker of recognition, maybe even a moment of hope, and then go back to their day. But you're not most people, because something inside you already knows. Your voice, your presence, your story still matter. And tomorrow morning you'll face a choice. Will you sit in silence and let the day unfold without you? Or will you speak, even just for 5 minutes, and remind yourself that you are still here, still capable, still becoming? That's a question only you can answer. And the next time you hear yourself say, I feel, that's when it begins. Because the way forward doesn't start with a prescription or a promise. It starts with a sound, your own voice calling you back to life. And if you're ready to go one step deeper, to unlock the second most powerful daily habit for brain health after 70, we've just released a new video you need to see. Why drinking water the wrong way is making you weaker after 70. The two together, they could change the way you age forever.